Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies. The news we've all been waiting for, it's finally come. The Saints had by tomorrow to renegotiate or cut Michael Thomas, and in fact, he will be back with the Saints in the 2023-2024 season on a one-year deal, $10 million up to $15 million in incentives and things like that. I'm sure it's like games and stats that he can get up to $15 million. This is a really, really good deal for both sides. Michael Thomas not going to be cut. Won't become a free agent. I don't know what his market would have looked like if he became a free agent. Obviously has all the talent in the world, Hall of Fame type talent, but could not stay healthy over the past couple seasons. So the Saints just couldn't pay him, that $20+ million he was, set to receive. So good deal. They kind of slice his contract in half. That's a good deal for the Saints. Good deal for Michael Thomas. If he performs, he can get up to $15 million. And if he performs, he'll be a free agent after next year. So he'll be coming off a good season, and he'll be a free agent again. And maybe he can collect a bag from somewhere, maybe the Saints, maybe somewhere else. But I'm glad to keep Michael Thomas in the building for at least one more season, man. Get Derek Carr, Olave, Shaheed, Michael Thomas. Who knows what else we'll bring, to the receiving room. I still think we need another receiver with or without Michael Thomas. Obviously, he'll be back now, but even if he wasn't, we're still going to need another receiver in that room, maybe a slot guy. Who knows? But Michael Thomas will be a Saint next year, and this is obviously exciting. We don't know if Chris Olave is ready to assume that wide receiver one role as it is right now next year. Obviously, he has all the potential in the world. He can be that guy. Maybe he'll be that guy next year. But as of last year, I think he was a two guy, a really, really good two guy with the capability of being a number one guy. Now you got Michael Thomas. If he's healthy, he's the number one guy. We saw the Atlanta game, his first game back, he was going absolutely crazy. He still got the talent. He still got all of that you need from a wide receiver one. Now you just add that with Chris Olave. You add that with Alvin Kamara. Hopefully get a healthy offensive line. Now you have a quarterback. You have stability at the quarterback situation. No, he's not going to be Drew Brees. He even said that. He's coming to be Derek Carr. But he is an upgrade at quarterback. He is, a guy that's been in the league for a while, and he's been pretty good. He's been pretty good in NFL. He's never been great. He's never been like a Hall of Fame type player, but he's been pretty good in NFL. Going to hopefully have some consistency at that quarterback position. Hopefully have some health at the receiver position. And things are looking good for the Saints, man. Things are looking good. Obviously, yesterday we lost Onyemata, we lost Shad Tuttle, and we lost Davenport to the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Vikings. So, to retain Michael Thomas, that's very, very big for the Saints, big for Mickey Loomis, big for Dennis Allen, big for Pete Carmichael, big for Derek Carr. So it's big for everybody across the board, man. Like I said, the deal is really what I'm excited about. The deal to keep Michael Thomas in $10 million. That is absolutely fantastic still by Mickey Loomis. They did an absolute fantastic job because everybody, include myself, Nick Underhill, and anybody else you want to name that covers the Saints or a fan of the Saints, we all thought it was a 99.9% chance Michael Thomas was gone after he restructured that deal, and I can't blame anyone for thinking that. Usually when that happens, you're probably getting cut. When they basically take away all your guaranteed money and you have a very, very little, base salary, you're probably getting cut, with a June 15th designation. But that did not happen. They would be able to talk things out, work things out. I think Michael Thomas had to put his pride aside, put his ego aside, and realize, hey, I haven't played in 2 years for this team. They signed me to a $100 million deal. It didn't work out. He's already got paid a lot of money from the Saints for absolutely nothing. I won't say absolutely nothing because he performed to get that deal. It was worth every penny when we signed him, so I won't say for absolutely nothing. But he didn't produce when he got that deal, and he'll tell you that. I mean, he doesn't have to tell you that. It's just the proof is in the pudding, man. We're only speaking facts here. He didn't play the last 2 seasons. He played like 1 or 2 games, and the one game he played was amazing. But we can't pay you $20 million a year for one game a season. That's just not how this works. That's not how the NFL works. It'll never work like that. One of the biggest things about this contract is dead money, dead money, dead money. If Michael Thomas didn't restructure his contract and didn't, sign with the Saints, that was going to be $14.1 million in dead money, which is obviously going to count against the cap. And you don't want that dead money for somebody that's not going to be here. So instead of, him accounting for $14 million against the cap and dead money, I'm not sure what his cap number is going to be, but it's going to be probably between 8 to 10 million. If I had to guess, just throwing a number off my head, then that's obviously better than being 14 million and not on the team rather than counting for 10 million and on the team. So obviously that's going to be a good situation for the Saints. That dead money, it's not looking like it'll be super, super high this year. We're going to get a couple million from Onyemata. You got a big number for Davenport, but that's addition by subtraction, like I said already. We obviously don't really need to talk about Michael Thomas' resume, but I mean, if you look at his resume through the NFL, 2016, 92 catches, 1,100 plus yards, 9 touchdowns, 104 catches, 1,200 plus yards, 5 touchdowns. 2018, 125 catches, 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns. 2019, the crazy NFL record-breaking year, 149 catches, 1,725 yards, 9 touchdowns. 2020, the year he got hurt, 40 catches right after that big deal, 438 yards. No touchdowns. And then last year, 16 catches, 171 yards, 3 touchdowns, and obviously had that dislocated toe and had to have surgery, was out for the season for the second year in a row. Didn't play in 2021, barely played in 2022 after that big deal. So it's been obviously an injury-riddled, last couple years for Michael Thomas. But, hey, he's only 30 years. He's only 30 years, a couple surgeries, but that body may still feel 27, feel 28, man. 30 is not old for a receiver. You can still be at an elite level. He's still a top guy in the NFL when he's on the field. But you're always going to say that with Michael Thomas at this point of his career until he shows otherwise when he's on the field. Because when he's on that field, this offense is dynamic. It's very, very different. When he's off, obviously, we have a bunch of young receivers, not a true number one guy on that roster. So when he's on that field, it's obviously going to help Derek Carr. It's going to help Pete Carmichael. It's just going to help the Saints on third down. Hey, I know I can go to Michael Thomas. To have that security blanket for a quarterback is definitely going to be big. It's going to help Alvin Kamara out. It's going to help the running game out. Everything in this offense works well when Michael Thomas is on the field than when he's not on the field. So hopefully he can stay healthy for the Saints. We can get him going, get him rolling. I don't know where his health is right now. I'm not sure. After that surgery, how the recovery is going. Hopefully it's going well. Derek Carr even said in his press conference that, hey, Mike Thomas, he wants to compete. He makes you ready to run through a wall for him. So that's good. That's very, very good. Obviously, I kind of knew Michael Thomas was going to stay when he started tweeting that stuff, and he was tweeting at Nick Underhill saying, don't delete this, don't delete that. It was kind of evident that Michael Thomas was going to, restructure his deal and stay with the Saints. And also when Derek Carr said he talked to him, Michael Thomas was ready to work right away. Why would, a receiver be ready to work if he's not going to, play for that team, if he's not going to be catching balls from that quarterback? So I'm glad they got this deal done, man. I just could do nothing but salute Mickey Loomis and the whole entire staff, the front office. They did a great job of retaining Michael Thomas. This is the big one. I know we lost Caden Ellis. That kind of hurt yesterday. The defensive lineman, I'm not too worried about. That defensive line group was not very good last year, in my opinion. So retaining Michael Thomas, I'm glad we did. Let me know what y'all think about it in the comments below. As always, this is the Boo Tragedies, and I'm out.